Real footage of China's economic misery. Homeless young people sleep everywhere on the streets. As China continues to assert its position on the global stage, many see it as a land of opportunity, with soaring skyscrapers, bustling cities, and a booming economy. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there lies a concerning issue, which is not often featured in the country's grand narrative. If China is indeed the economic juggernaut it's made out to be, then why are so many of its young people finding themselves homeless, forced to sleep on the streets? This paradox invites us to take a closer look at the nation's socio-economic landscape and how the prosperity many associate with China is eluding a significant portion of its population. So what is causing this increase in youth homelessness, and what does it indicate about China's economic reality? Let's explore the answer in today's episode. But before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel, Facts About China. Your support is a great motivation for us. The increasing population of young homeless people in urban areas of China is concerning and saddening. It is unexpected in a country with the world's second-largest economy. Nevertheless, this issue of homelessness highlights deep-rooted socio-economic disparities, instability in the job market, and systemic problems that are increasingly difficult to overlook. Many of these young individuals flock to China's largest metropolises in search of better opportunities, lured by the promise of prosperity in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. The reality, however, is often much harsher. Facing skyrocketing living costs, stagnating wages, and fierce competition, these young migrants quickly find themselves struggling to fit into society. The latest data from the Chinese Communist Party reveals that the number of newly registered unemployed individuals in Shenzhen has risen by 40% compared to the same period last year and by 15% from the previous quarter. However, there are concerns that these figures may not fully capture the extent of unemployment, as many laid-off workers may not have been officially recorded. Additionally, another report indicates that until October, only 38% of graduates had secured informal employment notices. A separate survey from Guangdong University of Technology suggests that the employment rate for this year's graduates is just 41%, which means as many as 60% are unemployed. A recent video depicts a significant group of individuals, including children, sleeping in the open area in front of Longhua Bus Station Square in Shenzhen, Guangdong. According to Chinese authorities, many of these people are from rural areas seeking employment. However, due to the scarcity of jobs and lack of funds for basic accommodations, they are compelled to sleep on the streets while waiting for potential work. Observers have noted that this situation began as early as last year and has significantly deteriorated this year. Many young Chinese have been sleeping outdoors in pipes and in underground walkways. Some are even using cinemas as temporary places to sleep. Despite the common association of youth with energy and style, the economic downturn in China has resulted in a lack of job opportunities, leading to many young people being forced to sleep on the streets. An account on social media also posted a photo of a child sleeping near Longhua Bus Station, beside a young man sitting on the ground, asleep on the side of the road. According to some sources, many Chinese youths were spotted sleeping under a bridge, anticipating recruitment letters from factories. They highlighted that in Jiangsu province, numerous stranded students are vying for hourly wages of only 13 to 14 yuan. In recent years, there has been an increase in the number of young individuals sleeping on the streets due to the ongoing decline in China's economy. The closure of many factories in Guangdong has resulted in widespread job losses, pushing people to temporarily live on the streets. According to incomplete data, in major Chinese cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Chongqing, there are similar levels of unemployment, bankruptcy, and homelessness as seen in Shenzhen. Additionally, numerous major Japanese and Taiwanese companies and corporations are leaving China out of concern for potential risks. In response to mounting threats from Beijing, Japanese, Taiwanese, and other companies are hastening their departure from China. For instance, on July 23, Japan's Nippon Steel announced the termination of its 20-year joint venture with China's Bastille, with the contract set to expire at the end of August. Nippon Steel has faced challenges in expanding its business in China and intends to redirect its investments to India and the United States. The company also announced its intention to offload all its shares in the partnership with China's Bastille for $241 million, pending regulatory approval. During their partnership, Nippon Steel filed a lawsuit against Bastille in a Japanese court in 2021, alleging that China's Bastille had stolen Japanese patents for electroplated steel sheets supplied to Toyota for electric vehicles. This case is still unresolved. The situation exemplifies the trend of foreign companies hastening their exit from China. On July 12, Kato Works, a Japanese company that manufactures construction machinery, revealed the dissolution and winding up of its branch responsible for manufacturing and trading hydraulic excavators in Kunshan, Jiangsu. Additionally, Kato Works declared its intention to liquidate in August as part of its departure from the Chinese market. This tendency extends beyond the manufacturing industry to the beauty products sector, as luxury skincare brands like Shiseido have also declared their retreat from the Chinese market. Shiseido's major stores in China have recently ceased taking new orders and commenced the process of shutting down. Another Japanese firm, Bridgestone, has also declared its retreat from China after more than 2 decades of business operations. Bridgestone has stopped the production and sale of commercial tires in China and is expected to shift its focus to high-performance passenger tires. As per some sources, the majority of well-known global companies that have exited China in the past year are of Japanese origin. These companies encompass manufacturing facilities such as Canon, Sony, Toshiba, and Nikon. Additionally, other departures from China include Amazon, LinkedIn, and the Research and Development Center of Astellas Pharmaceuticals. These companies have relocated their supply chains to Thailand, the Philippines, or their home countries. On the other hand, the international media is worried about China's dominant intentions towards Taiwan, which has led to concerns among Taiwan's top technology companies about potential negative outcomes. Consequently, some companies are contemplating establishing a secondary headquarters beyond Taiwan. Taiwanese companies have traditionally outsourced a significant portion of their manufacturing. Foxconn, a prominent computer equipment manufacturer and subcontractor for major tech companies like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft, primarily conducts its business in China but also has operations in Europe, Brazil, and Mexico. CIMC, a leading semiconductor manufacturer for companies like Nvidia and Apple, has recently revealed plans to build a second factory in Arizona, USA, with an investment exceeding $65 billion, which includes $6.6 billion in subsidies from the U.S. government. Singapore and the Netherlands are also key locations for the expansion of Taiwan's semiconductor IC industry. The issue of foreign capital leaving China has been a widely discussed topic since 2023. Earlier this year, global asset management company Knight Frank reported that this trend is continuing. In response to public concerns, the Ministry of Commerce of China stated that the movement of foreign capital is following market regulations, and that claims of foreign companies fleeing are exaggerated and influenced by external factors. The Xinhua news agency, a media outlet of the Chinese Communist Party, went as far as to criticize foreign companies, claiming that they are making unwise decisions. Xinhua's propaganda emphasized that the most promising investment opportunities still exist in China, and leaving the country would result in missing out on these chances. The declining business environment in China is causing foreign capital to relocate, with many foreign businesses moving to Southeast Asia, India, and even returning to their home countries like the United States, Japan, and South Korea. These companies are in China to make a profit, not to engage in charitable activities. While some believe that the established supply chain and low-cost labor force in China are reasons for foreign companies to stay, in the last 3 to 5 years, not only have 100 Japanese companies left, but also businesses from Taiwan, Korea, the US, Germany, the UK, and even some Chinese firms have also withdrawn from China. Nikon, a major Japanese camera company, has closed its subsidiary Nikon Imaging in China. Nikon Group also has closed its factory in Suzhou and pulled out of China. Next up, Seagate, the world's largest hard drive maker, has shut down its factory in Suzhou. Suzuki has withdrawn all shares from 2 subsidiaries in China. Apple's assemblers are planning to relocate production lines to Taiwan or Southeast Asia. In 2019, Samsung Electronics of South Korea closed its factory in Huizhou, ceasing phone production in China and moving operations to India, Vietnam, and other Southeast Asian countries. Additionally, Japanese office equipment company Ricoh has transferred its photocopier production lines to Thailand. In 2020, Tesco, a British supermarket chain, declared its full exit from the Chinese market. Old Navy, an American clothing retailer, declared its retreat from the Chinese market and shut down all of its physical and online stores in the country. In 2021, Philips, a Dutch company, sold its home appliance business to Hillhouse Capital of China and departed from the home appliance market in China. After that, Yahoo ceased offering its products and services in China. Toshiba shut down its final factory in Dalian. Oki, a Japanese electronics manufacturer, stopped its printer and copier manufacturing operations in China. In 2022, Canon shut down its Zhuhai factory and relocated its production lines to Japan. Lotte Group from South Korea closed its final department store in China, disbanded its Chinese headquarters, and boosted its investments in Southeast Asia. Apple revealed plans to have iPhones assembled and manufactured at an Indian facility. In 2023, Sony transferred its primary factory to Thailand. Citibank exited China, as did the supermarket group Carrefour. Additionally, U.S. asset management behemoth Vanguard and performance consulting firm Gallup declared their intentions to cease operations in China and exit the country. The highest-ranking officials of the Chinese Communist Party have recently revealed an economic recovery plan, and there was an uncommon economic meeting held by the Politburo in September. However, some experts suggest that despite the potential for a swift response from the Chinese economy, there are concerns that China could follow the path of Zimbabwe. Alongside the central bank's decision to lower interest rates, reduce the reserve requirement ratio, and increase the money supply to stimulate the stock market, the Chinese Communist Party has also outlined intentions to provide financial aid to low-income individuals. Lately, Reuters reported that the Chinese Communist Party's Ministry of Finance is set to release bonds worth 2 trillion yuan. Some of this will go towards supporting trade-ins for new products, while another portion will be used to provide monthly subsidies of 800 yuan per child for families with 2 or more children. Additionally, the funds will be used to help local governments with debt relief and to gradually increase financial aid for small and medium-sized businesses. Simply put, the Chinese Communist Party is trying to address multiple economic challenges at once. This is because, during the economic meeting on September 26, Chinese Communist Party leader Xi Jinping acknowledged new issues in China's economy. Economic experts noted that the Chinese Communist Party broke from tradition by holding an economic meeting in September and by providing direct financial aid to the poor for the first time. These actions suggest that China's economy is in a critical state, with Beijing officials feeling that the nation's stability is at risk. The Chinese economy's decline has created the potential for widespread social turmoil, which may threaten the rule of the Chinese Communist Party. Lai Changpeng, a well-known writer and social critic in China, expressed that previously, Chinese people once knelt to the government in groups, then jumped off buildings and bridges in groups, and now it has become frequent to attack government officials. This shift signifies a move from hope for a better future to a sense of hopelessness, where one life is traded for another, a reflection of the current era. Other social critics commented that despite the severity of the homelessness crisis, the Chinese government has been slow to acknowledge the issue publicly. There are few government programs or policies specifically aimed at addressing homelessness among young people. In some cases, local authorities have even attempted to sweep the problem under the rug by relocating homeless individuals away from high-traffic areas in cities. Public perception of homelessness in China is also a major barrier to addressing the issue. Many people view homelessness as a personal failure rather than a symptom of larger socio-economic problems. As a result, homeless individuals are often stigmatized and marginalized, making it even more difficult for them to reintegrate into society. Another significant factor contributing to youth homelessness is the education system. In China, there is a strong emphasis on obtaining a college degree as the key to success. However, the job market is not expanding quickly enough to accommodate the influx of graduates each year. Many young people find themselves in precarious employment situations despite having degrees and working low-paying, unstable jobs that offer little security or prospects for advancement. This issue is further complicated by the fact that many employers in China prefer candidates with connections, or called gangxi. Young people without such connections often find themselves at a disadvantage in the job market, regardless of their qualifications. This leaves many recent graduates feeling disillusioned and hopeless about their prospects for the future. The worsening situation of young homeless people in China today has profound economic, livelihood, and social consequences that reverberate throughout society. This demographic, often overlooked, faces a myriad of challenges that not only affect their immediate well-being but also have broader implications for the economy and social fabric of the nation. As the number of young homeless individuals increases, the strain on social services intensifies, leading to a cycle of poverty and marginalization that is difficult to break. Economically, the rise in homelessness among young people contributes to a significant loss of human capital. Young individuals represent the future workforce, and when they are unable to secure stable housing, their ability to contribute productively to the economy diminishes. Many young homeless individuals struggle to find consistent employment due to their unstable living conditions, lack of access to education, and the stigma attached to homelessness. This not only affects their personal income but also results in a loss of potential economic output for the country. The government and society at large face increased costs associated with healthcare, social services, and law enforcement as these young people often turn to emergency services for support, further straining public resources. Livelihoods for young homeless individuals are precarious at best. Without a stable home, access to basic necessities such as food, clean water, and healthcare becomes a daily struggle. Many resort to informal work, which is often low-paying and lacks job security or benefits. This precarious employment situation perpetuates a cycle of poverty, making it nearly impossible for them to achieve financial independence or improve their living conditions. The lack of stable income also limits their ability to pursue education or vocational training, hindering their long-term prospects for employment and economic mobility. Consequently, this demographic remains trapped in a cycle of poverty, with little hope for upward mobility. Socially, the increasing visibility of young homeless people creates a sense of unease within communities. The presence of homelessness can lead to rising tensions between different social groups, as residents may feel threatened or inconvenienced by the visibility of poverty in their neighborhoods. This can result in a backlash against homeless individuals, leading to further marginalization and social exclusion. Additionally, the stigma associated with homelessness can have devastating effects on the mental health of young people, exacerbating feelings of isolation and despair. The lack of social support networks leaves many feeling abandoned, which can lead to increased rates of mental health issues, substance abuse, and even self-harm. The implications of the worsening situation of young homeless people extend beyond the individuals directly affected. They also impact families and communities. Families may experience emotional and financial strain as they attempt to support young relatives who are homeless. Communities face the challenge of addressing the needs of these individuals without adequate resources, often leading to tensions between local governments and residents. As young homeless individuals struggle to find their place in society, the social cohesion of communities can be undermined, leading to increased crime rates and a general decline in the quality of life for all residents. On top of that, addressing youth homelessness in China will require a multifaceted approach. One key solution is increasing access to affordable housing. The government must prioritize the construction of low-cost housing options in major cities to ensure that young workers have a place to live. Additionally, rent monitoring measures could help prevent landlords from raising prices to unaffordable levels. Another important step is improving the job market for young people. This could be achieved by providing better vocational training programs and creating more opportunities for career advancement. The government could also incentivize companies to hire recent graduates and provide them with on-the-job training. Furthermore, mental health services should also be expanded to provide support for homeless individuals. This could include offering free counseling and mental health care to those in need. Reducing the stigma surrounding homelessness and mental health is crucial for helping these individuals reintegrate into society. Finally, it is essential for the Chinese government to acknowledge the homelessness problem openly and take concrete steps to address it. By recognizing that homelessness is not simply a result of personal failure, but a symptom of larger socio-economic issues, the government can begin to develop effective policies to combat the crisis. To summarize, China's homelessness crisis, particularly among its youth, is a stark reminder that economic growth does not automatically translate into prosperity for all. While the country may boast impressive GDP numbers and a booming real estate market, many young people are being left behind and forced to sleep on the streets due to unaffordable housing, unstable employment, and a lack of social safety networks. The problem of youth homelessness in China reveals the deep socio-economic inequalities that persist within the country and the urgent need for reform. The question remains, will China take drastic action to address this growing crisis, or will its young people continue to be left out in the cold? We've reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found our content engaging, a thumbs up and sharing it with your loved ones would be much appreciated. Make sure to subscribe to Facts About China and turn on the notification bell for updates on our latest videos. Your support is everything to us. Until next time, take care and goodbye.